And she was so mean to me. I was in shock. Like, that was the most painful and disappointing experience that I've had. And before the test, she shared the story that if you measure 20, that means you're level 1. So to be a level 3, if you haven't seen my 7 levels video, please watch it. It's on YouTube, on my channel. Find it. It's called, you put Yana Bulat, Sex and Money, 7 Levels Geisha. Those are the keywords you put in, and that video will come up, and just, study it. It's incredible. And so on the level 1 and 2, the woman is not visible to the man. Her sexuality is so low. Her hormones are low. And so you have to be at this level 3, and that starts at about 70 by this computer program. And so so I arrived in Dubai. I haven't slept for 24 hours. I was jet lagged. And the moment I had to, and I paid extra to leave with her, because they had like a beachfront 3-bedroom with this big living room for the retreat. And so I paid extra to have a room, because I thought every day she's practicing. I wanted to watch my teacher practice and be part of it. I had so many illusions, and I was so excited to go. And so the moment I got in there, I got sick, because my energetic body connected to the aura there, and it was so cold and so unloving and so unkind and so unhealthy for my system. I was in no energetic alignment with that. So I got sick, I got temperature, I was coughing, and when you're sick, your sexuality goes down, because sexuality is your vital energy. Okay, so all these women have been studying with her from 5 to 8 years, because everybody had to share in a circle about themselves and so forth, and they all had this computer program that they were practicing at home. I was the only one, they didn't have it. And so I said, what do you think that my results will be? And they said 20. I mean, that's the meanest thing you can tell to the woman in this circle. It's like you're the low of the lows. Like you're hopeless. You're level 1. Sexually you're nothing. And I was like, how is this possible? Because I already were attracting the most incredible men. Men were telling me, like, your energy blows me away. I already knew I was a magical woman and a sexual goddess. And so it's like, that was not matching my experience. So it's like what somebody would say, you're bald. Your hair is short and you're bald. I'm like, no, I have a lot of hair and my hair is long. So the program is, when they test you, they put inside of you this metal penis, and you have to grab it with your inner muscles and lift it up. And it's pretty heavy, and it has electrical rods in it. And then on the computer, it shows to you whether you reach to 100%, or it shows percentages to you. So you're supposed to lift it up, reach the highest point, and then release, reach it up and release, and so forth. And the whole exercise is 15 minutes. So the first 5 minutes, she's not telling me what I'm supposed to do. So it's laying in my vagina. I don't know what to do with it. I'm waiting for instructions. Haven't I paid? It was 6,000 euros for 4 days that I invested. So one of the days was about sexuality. So it was over 1,000 euros that I paid And so it's my time now. First of all, they put me down, and now they're not teaching me how to use it, and I flew for this. I was so disappointed. I was so angry and sick. So all of this negative energy is putting me down even more. And they're all laughing at me, and because it's not moving. This thing is not moving because I'm not understanding. I'm squeezing it like this. Nobody's telling me you have to squeeze it and lift it up. And so on top of it, for everyone, she put it on level 2 of difficulty. For me, she put it on level 9 difficulty. Nice, huh? So we're talking about competition. Esmeralda, hello. Remember we're talking about women and competition and jealousy. It's like, I lived it all. I understand. I can help you heal how you feel about it, because we cannot change the external work. We can only change our internal attitude. And so here I was like a victim of the victims, frustrated, angry, sick, upset, disappointed. I was like, it's not working out. For 5 minutes, I cannot make it work. Finally, my inner man kicks in to the rescue. And he goes, fuck everybody, I'm going to figure this out. Who do you think you are? I'm super smart. I'm going to get it happen. So I start watching the computer program. I work with my muscles and I see, oh, this is what's happening. And I'm asking her, what's the purpose? What I'm supposed to get to the top? She goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, got it. Okay, you keep your negativity. So I build a wall around me, like I'm not listening to anybody. Yana is rescuing Yana, and I'm going to the top. In the last 10 minutes, I hit everything at 100%. So at the end, I'm asking you, what do you think was my results? I was over 100 above every single one in the room. And I was sick, and I didn't know how to do it. And I'm 30%, like 5 minutes out of 15, I was at a 0. So I don't know if I knew what to do, if I was feeling good and supportive and excited and so forth. I don't even know what results I could have probably blown away that machine out, because they were shocked at my results. Like the highest woman that had, I was 100 points over hers. So they were looking at, how is this possible? We've been working with this machine for like 5 years or 8 years. We're studying with her. How come you come and you blow away the teacher and all of this out? And I'm like, I have a different concept. So now I'm gonna give you the gold. So her concept is this, is that you, like, I'll get a little bit of the story first. So we're arguing about, I'm like, no, I believe it's like this, because now I feel like I'm a feminine coach as well. And she's like, it's like this. And I'm like, no, I believe the yin and yang works like this. And then she goes, well, Yana, don't you want to make your man happy, like give him the pleasure? Because she was teaching all these techniques how to conquer the man sexually, and internally is making him your slave. So you got him. You can squeeze him, he cannot get out of you. You can, like, all these amazing techniques where French kiss, everything, what you can do with your yoni, with his thing, like that he would never experience with any other woman. And I said, I think that this is aggressive. I think that this is masculine. And I think that this is a war in bed. And this is not in agreement with my inner woman. I said, I feel that a woman, my job is to take care of my ecstasy. I get ecstatic, I feel orgasmic, I get my pheromones out, and then I'm attracting him. And the one, I don't want to conquer him. but the one that is naturally attracted to me. I don't want prisoners and slaves. I want a lover in bed. So the one who is naturally, there is an attraction that is happening, and then he can enjoy my pleasure. Because the man cannot experience the pleasure the way a woman can. So he is coming in for this nectar that she feels. And that's why we get obsessed with men that are players, because they can activate us in ways nobody can. And I've had those experiences before, and we had this, like a really powerful session with one of my clients about obsession, and I told her my personal story and so forth. And I remember at the end of the year that I was obsessed about this karate guy. I got married after that, and I told my husband, it's one of the reasons I agreed to marry you was also because I thought that my life is over anyhow, because I'll never feel so alive, so orgasmic, so excited as I felt with this guy. And he was a player, and I was like, what's the point of life anyhow? I remember I was praying to God. I was 28, and I was like, give me one life of passion with him, and then you can take my life away. I thought I was praying to God, that I was talking to devil, because God is about eternal life, and I was giving away my life. So that I was like, why is that? Because he made me feel so awake, so alive, so juicy, so excited, like I've never been before. I was frozen. I was a good girl. I was afraid to experience my sexuality, let alone show it. So when I've got the art of geisha, I modified it to the divine feminine, not the prostitute level, where you're aggressive and you're learning it to like hate, because it's behind it is a hate. We hate men, we're scared of men, we've been hurt by men, starting from our fathers. So it's an inner war between yin and yang within us that we're not even aware why we are so aggressive or passive aggressive towards men. And yet we can never be fully alive, awake, and ignited without a man, because it's the yin and yang, the magnetically attracts, and life is in different colors. So subconsciously all of us is desiring this love, but we are afraid of it. So we say, I don't want to be in a relationship. Yes, of course you don't want to be. You are already, empty. You have nothing to offer. Of course you don't want another one come in and take those little pieces out of you. But if you're full of it, of course you want the man. You want to share. You want to give. You want to live. You want to experience. And so in a sexual goddess, you learn how to raise your own, you take control of your own sexuality, and you become orgasmic. And then in that pleasure, you share the pleasure, you attract through the pleasure, and you share the pleasure, and you are not a victim anymore in a relationship. And I'll elaborate more of that in the next session, because I'm cold, my love. I'm feeling that that's a really deep subject that I want to go super deep in our Queen's Club conversation. But anyhow, and so that was my argument with her. I was like, no, the feminine in bed has to be relaxed and filled up with her own pleasure. And then the man is the weaker part. He's attracted to that, and he's giving to her all he's got, and he is serving her and loving her and choosing her as his queen, as his goddess. He cannot any other way. You don't have to tell him, I want to be treated like they did it. You cannot build boundaries. It's internal. It's a natural attraction. And so in our wholeness retreat, you really are learning this, how to build internal boundaries. If you have the womb healing program and the wholeness retreat, you're going to learn how to feminine way heal your inner girl and inner boy, like the victim archetype from the childhood that was created. You're gonna explore how your mom and dad dynamic created a victim archetype in you. And when you're ready, have a private, and we can heal your relationship with your mom, we can heal your relationship with dad, because through the retreat you can heal mentally as much as you can. You can become aware, you can accept. And if there are these deeper layers which you cannot go there yourself, then you have a private session and I take you all the way down and up, and you're free. And then you don't have to be an alcoholic or a chocoholic or, you know, a crazy bitch or a good girl. You can actually become real and connect to who you really are, because all of these emotions are suppressed in you since childhood. You're afraid to connect to your sexuality. You're afraid to express yourself sensually because it has been scary. Like, I was reading these comments in here, you know, and they're on this subject. And Yana, a lot of these male predators at work try to exploit us, seeing feminine energy, trying to control or dominate you. They are wounded in masculine energy. Just because we're doing the work doesn't mean everyone else will start to be nice to all of us. I feel feminine energy with feelings is stuck in model. Why not have sovereign, activated, empowered feminine energy? It's something current, sometimes soft, sometimes gentle, sometimes thunder, so on and so forth and so forth. Yana, yes, so much confusion on Instagram. Men want soft feminine women, then they say men want peaceful women. They say put your heart first, feel your emotions. What does a healthy, loving distance from family actually look like in real life? Farva says, yes, I'll get there, because that's the focus I wanted to be on today. So yes, you're right about, you know, these pressures that we have, because without a strong queen archetype, we are gonna be attacked by predators. If we just open up the sexual energy, we're just gonna be attacked. So yes, that's why it's like, welcome to the School of Love, so I can teach you. We can work on things that bother you in your particular scenario. Why is it activated for you? So for me, for example, since I was 14, my mom told me, just don't have sex and don't get pregnant. Just don't have sex and don't get pregnant. So I don't want to have sex until I'm married. I'm scared. Because in Armenia, you have to be married and you have to be a virgin when you marry. Otherwise, they can, you know, throw you out and kill you and all of this stuff. It's like, it was like dangerous. So I had this fear built under me. So even though I'm in America or I'm 40 years old, I'm still afraid to have sex and I don't want to get pregnant. That's a program that my mind put in me. I don't want to get pregnant. It was at 14, but that program stayed. It's a scenario, it's a fear. So until all of that is deeply healed, I was already after 50, so it was too late. And so of course, when I look at younger women, I'm like, oh my God, you know, do you have to go through all this wrong path before you learn some things on your own? You figure it out, that all of that is bullshit that they're feeding you out there. It doesn't work, it's dangerous, it's wrong, it doesn't work. So back to AI is so artificial intelligence collects all of this information that whatever people think and put out there. The people that are level Einstein and innovative people like me, like for example, I'm not a good writer, I'm a speaker, because I have to express my words, I have to live it, I have to be activated. So a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing or what I'm doing in private session is not out there anywhere. And when I watch like what just happened, I was like, this is revolutionary. I've been in this for 20 years. I wish somebody did this to me 20 years ago. I would have paid $100,000 for just this freedom. You know? And so AI can only bring to you and structure whatever noise is out there, whatever human opinions is out there. And so this ritual that Farwa brings up is like from what Oprah is saying. It's like, you know, you cut, you disconnect, and that's it. And you build a wall and you're done. It's never possible. You can never disconnect from your lineage. You can never disconnect from your exes. Even if they die physically, the cords that are built, the bonds that are built between two souls energetically, they are for the reason. We come into this family dynamic so we can understand the codes that are wrong, and we can acknowledge them, accept them, and heal them through love and transmute the dark energy into the light. And that was so revolutionary. I had these 3 sessions in a row with this beautiful girl. That first one was about obsession and about men, and the second one was about father, and the third one was about the mother. And only, you know, at the 3rd session I was able to, like, you know, tighten everything up of everything we, you know, unveiled. Is that between a man and a woman, and that is exactly the same between a mother and a daughter, or a father, within any human being and your ex, is being built a cord, an energetic cord. Right now between us, when you feel the field, is being built a channel. We can call it a cord or a channel through which energy is flowing. Like right now, the strongest I feel is coming from Olga. She is quiet, but the energy that is coming from her, she's full on focused and attention. She's like a knife cutting through the ether. I feel very strongly her presence and her question. And so this cord is built through which a man has access to your womb energy. And even if he dies, he can be through etheric body, still be obsessing about you and taking out this energy. So we cannot cut it, we cannot build a wall about it, because it's energy and it's always flowing. So I ran away from my mom from country to country to country. It doesn't matter. Only now that I completely healed my relationship with my mom, where in my heart she is this goddess. And when we were doing this healing session, you know, as I said, we did the 3 steps. The last one was with mother. She also started from a lot of painful stories. And I'm like, okay, I've done 10 years of complaining about my mother. I can now collect it all for you, and I can take you through to love. So I just shared with her, this is the pain I had from my mom. And only when I reached the level when my mother became a goddess, and I felt it, the next day my mom called me up, and I shared with her the story that in 50 years, not once I've heard a compliment from my mom. She only criticized me. And before I went to Bali, I remember I was on my knees crying. I had a like not a panic attack, but like hysterika in Russian. Like I was hysterical. And I was like, Mom, I'm paying $500 to a woman so that I could hear her hear me and give me feedback in a gentle, kind, and supportive way. And my mom would be, she's full of shit, she's like a liar, she's not telling the truth, and so forth. So at that time I was like, she's offending my teacher from whom I was, taking a lot of things. But when I went to Dubai, that's what I felt, that my mom was right. It was like teaching women to be prostitutes hardcore, but married to millionaires. Because prostitution is when you're selling your body for something. Energy, money, power, whatever it is. That's prostitution. When you're in a union, you're giving your whole self because you love, and you take full responsibility for being in pleasure and happiness and health so you can share the most for your beloved. When you're learning the art of being the best you can be so that he's the happiest man with you, not because you want to keep him and you're afraid to lose him and you're in competition with the other girls, but because you love him so much. You want him to experience the greatest pleasure in life. So that was our conflict. She was like, don't you want to give him the highest pleasure in bed? I'm like, no, I want to experience the highest pleasure so that he can drink from me, so he can share from the abundance of it. No, I don't want to jump in bed on him and do this and that and the other thing and learn this thing and do this thing, because then I'm a man in bed and he has to be in a lower, I'll be the upper hand position and he's in the lower hand position. So he has to surrender and receive from me. So then I am making love to his inner woman. Then who am I? An inner man. For an alchemy to happen, always has to be a man and a woman, yin and yang. I'm like, no, I want to be in a yin position. I want to be receiving the pleasure, but he's not going to give it to me because men are not trained lovers. They come as an animal and they just want to attack and take. Most of them, unfortunately. Like even if they're trained lovers, not every day he can come and give you an hour of, pleasure so you can warm up before he takes you. He just wants quick sex so he can take some of your warm, juicy energy and can recharge his batteries and go on to work. And so I've learned it's like I have to be the generator of energy. I am responsible for my ecstasy. I'm responsible for my hormonal balance. I'm responsible for my health and beauty. No one is going to take care of me. So I learn, I empower myself, and I apply, I practice. And then I get treated and valued at whatever real value I possess. And no one is good or bad. If for this person I'm not good enough, good, they're rejecting me. Good, get somebody who is good enough. There is somebody good enough for me. And if I'm not happy with for whom I'm good enough, then I work harder and I raise my energy so I can get whom I want. That's my inner man says, no, this man is not good enough for me. So he says, Yana, work harder, get over here so you can get the man that you want. But those are the choices that I make. And so, yeah, I have now delivered these programs for you so you can practice, and then you can come and for free have access to me and ask the questions and share. Back to you. So when I read that ritual, when you sent from AI, I was like, my hair stood up on my head. I was like, oh my God, what a nonsense is this? Where did she get this shit from? Because I didn't know that you got it from AI. I was like, which witch gave you this nonsense that is only gonna make worse? Like you have a trauma unhealed and you're creating an insult on the trauma. And it's a dead end road. And so the question is, how valuable for you is your life, your health, your youth, your love? Because that's affecting your relationship with your mom and dad and your sisters, affecting how you feel with your husband, So you're gonna talk his ears off about how bad they are, how great they are, and he's to support you, is to be on your side. Is it draining him or empowering him? How is it working for you? And I know on some level we feel peace. We're like, okay, we're not going to be in the toxic relationship. We want to run away when people are constantly criticizing us and all this and that thing. Oh, I didn't finish the story with my mom. And so before I went to Bali, I was asking her, I was like, Mom, I know you don't know how to be expressive and to speak and the compliments on all of this. So this is the deal. And you love money. So this is the deal. You know, I'll give you $10,000 and you just tell this, Yana, my daughter, I love you. I am so proud of you. You have accomplished so much. You know, I bless you. I want you well. You know, go to Bali, get your, you know, do what you needed to do. Because I was living only for 6 months. I was going to create the home healing program on videos on beautiful island and come back. And then come back and build your dream school, get married. Like I bless you, have them. So she's standing there with dead face, looking away, not even looking at me. It's like, no. I'm like, so at the end, I'm not gonna tell you the story. It was about an hour. I tried like this. I cried, I fought, I screamed, I yelled. At the end, I was on my knees, hitting my head with my forehead to the wall, to the thing, and I'm like, you bitch, I will give you $50,000 for you to say 3 words. I love you, are my daughter, Yana. I love you, you are my daughter, and I'm proud of you. And she was standing there dead, cold dead away, like, no. I'm like, why? Is your tongue gonna fall out? Why? 3 words you cannot say. Why? I've done everything for you. I supported you. I dedicated my life to you. I paid for everything. I worked. I studied and I worked so that I could support me and you. I didn't get married. I didn't have children because I had to always have my mom she was my child. She was my wife. She was my everything. I was like, you ruined my life. Now that I know everything and I want to be happy, like before I go, I want to hear it with my ears. Yana, I'm proud of you. I love you. Like, I bless you. You deserve the best. Go, everything will happen. Why do I have remember only the negative words? What did I get back? Nada. She was completely unable to say one kind word. I felt fucked up. I was so disappointed. I was so desperate. I was so in pain. So, I said, okay, fine, go to your room. And I had to be always renting a 2-bedroom so that my mom has her own bedroom. And so I just lay there and cried and cried and cried and cried until I realized that's it. I am disconnecting in my womb my connection to my mother. She is not going to define who I am. I like myself, I love myself, I'm free, I'm fucking, 46 years old. I'm soon gonna be 50. It's like, what? How long and I'm gonna be the little girl needing the approval of my mom? And so then I've done every possible ritual and concept to disconnect myself from my mother. It doesn't work. Because the mother gave me birth. She is a goddess. She is a force of nature. She is a traumatized little girl who hasn't healed her traumas with her parents. And she is unable to give me love the way I want and need in this moment. Just like a man is unable to give me every day the orgasms and to love me and caress me in the way I want and need. I just accepted it. It's not gonna happen. I acknowledged it, accepted, and then I started looking for application. It's like, but how I can find the happiness inside of me? And I found the ways. Farwa, I'm inviting you for a private session to heal with your mom. And then it's like 3 sessions. When you're ready for it, finish your wholeness retreat. And then when you're ready for it, by 3 sessions. And by the 3rd session, you will probably get to where you need. Maybe we'll get 100% release. Maybe we will get 50% off. I hate to give money back guarantees and 100% because we're humans. And we're complex. And this is what I've learned in healing myself. It's layers come off, and then I feel amazing and something new comes up. And I just accepted it. That I am a multiverse. And it's like, I want to be happy, and I want to be enlightened, and I want to feel love in my heart. And for that, I have to be free. Free from fear of who will reject me, who will love me, like free from all of this, so that I can build inside of me that source and connect to the source and move and transfer and be the source of energy. And this way I become the woman, the divine mother archetype embodied in me. So of course, when I was 20, I wasn't interested in the Divine Mother archetype, but the Aphrodite archetype is something that we would work on. But eventually, you still have to open up this archetype as well if you want to really be free. And then you will never be rejected. I don't know. Like, Farwa, how do you feel? I have been rude, ruthless, honest. You know, I wasn't nice, I wasn't kind, I wasn't like weaving around, I wasn't worried about hurting your feelings. Good if I hurt your feelings. So please share, how are you feeling right now? And what do you think?
To be honest with you, I think it got completely misunderstood. I think I didn't give a good background as to what that actually was. That incarnation. I've written a message now explaining it wasn't actually cutting off at all. It was quite the opposite of that. It was more addressing the wound and just giving it space to breathe. And I'm not cutting them off. I think maybe I was very passionate in what I was saying to you or something. But I'm glad you've highlighted it. But I think it's misunderstood.
Okay, so you were in a defense mechanism, writing up and defending your position. My question is, have you been able to hear the opposite version? Because it's not out clear. So what do you think is my position on this? Because no matter what you said there, it's nice words, and you're like, okay, it's separated, give time to breathe and so forth, but it's still a dead end road.
Yeah.
It's still not solving the situation.
No, you're right. I definitely need to have a few sessions. I don't know, maybe 100 with this, because it's very deep, and I see what you're saying, but then I also think that there is a point where sometimes, I mean, like you're saying, you know how you were running away from your mother, right? You went to Poland first, but that space is also needed, because I've got my mum living 5 minutes down the road from me.
Okay,
so
I think I got the point. I think I got the point. Let me clarify it now specifically to you, and tell me if this time we connected, because I know I was like spreading it out all over the place. So let me tighten it up. So what I'm saying is this: the relationship with the mother, for as long as we run away, escape, reject, resent, fight anybody, an ex or a mother, it doesn't matter who, another being or a teacher, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. We are losing energy and we are being in a victim archetype. For a moment, just put it on mute and just, do with your head, agree or don't agree. We are being a victim of the situation. So even if we postpone it for another 10 years, during these 10 years, you're still the unresolved issue. You are being like an alcoholic. So you can be sober for 1 year, for 10 years, for 3 years, separating yourself from alcohol. But you're spending your years fighting this unresolved issue that is actually your blessing and a source of energy, of love inside of your body. So what I am teaching is techniques, what I've discovered is the techniques that can transmute the energy of the conflict, generational, sexual, whatever it is. It's an energy, it's a negative energy. I find a way to transmute it, and then in your heart it becomes gold. It's an alchemy. And once inside of you that issue doesn't exist anymore, it doesn't vibrate as a negative, it's dissolved into love, you're free from it. So the question is, how long do you want to be a prisoner, a slave, and a victim of this issue, period? It doesn't matter if it was a rape, if it was a mother, if it was, whoever, whatever the issue is, it creates a victimhood archetype that locks us in. And the price that we pay is on 7 bodies. In the physical body, we feel construction, congestion, diseases. I just watched also on Instagram, this doctor did a short thing, the study about autoimmune diseases, that 80% of it is women that have that autoimmune diseases, is because they attack themselves. They don't heal it and they carry the guilt on themselves because they have to be the good girl. So if you suppress your true emotions, so when I take you through session, you're gonna hate your mother first. You're gonna bring all of these emotions out of your system. I don't remember the name of this woman. It will be on the video. I will find her name because it was like 20 years ago when I studied from her. I forgot her name. But the program was called The Work. And she has a book, and she was on television and so forth. And it was in her 60s that she discovers this method called The Work. And it was 4 questions. It's like I practiced it for years. I would listen to it and practice it. And it said, first you have to say, what is it you're feeling? And I would be, I hate my mom. And then you have to write down. And she's like, I encourage you to be as negative as you possibly can. Get all of your rage out. I hate my mom because she was criticizing me. I hate my mom because she never let me build any relationship. Any man that showed up in my life, my mother would made everything to kill the relationship. She was always standing there like being jealous and protecting me from any relationship. She was jealous of any girlfriend I would have. She would cut me off from everybody. She wanted to be the center of my life, have me under full and complete control. She played with my emotions. I was like never free from her. And I suffered and suffered and suffered with her. And so I hate my mom. Like everything. And I would remember all the stories, how she hurt me, how she abused me emotionally, blah, blah, blah. I would get all of this out. And I was like, yeah, I feel better. And that's only the second step. And then, you turn around and I go, I hate my mom. But I studied it from my mother hates me. And then I would show like how she was abusive, and then at the end I would be like, I have to turn it around and say I hate my mom. And I was in shock. I looked, I was like, oh my God, I hate my mom. I am the enemy. And then I would see everything my mother did for me. She gave me life, she would die for me, she protected me, she was the most loving mother in the world. I literally have the best mom in the world, like literally. If you really knew everything she's done for me, it's like the best mother I've met. Out of my old girlfriends, everybody loved my mom. All my girlfriends would become friends with my mom. And so on and so forth. And so she taught me this first step of releasing my emotions. She learned me not to judge my feelings. And I would feel better. And for years I did that, and that helped with my relationship with my mom, but it didn't solve it. Until I prayed on that Mount Soledad, because everything was in the womb. I came from the womb of my mother. So until I was pouring love and light out of my womb to the womb of my mother, the light, until I was sharing my light with her, my relationship did not get dissolved with my mother into love. So when I was in Poland, I was already in Bali, and my mom, I had an emotional, healing session with Bulat, and then she calls me up next day, and I was crying. I was like, my mother is a goddess. The love that she gave me, I saw the other picture. And then when I acknowledged, when I felt how loved I was, how she sacrificed, what an amazing mother I've had. When I literally felt it on every chakra. The next day in the morning, my mother called because she's in America. There's a 15-hour difference. So this was in the evening. I wake up in the morning at 7 a.m. with my mother calling me, and my mother is telling me with the voice of a goddess, and she is like, you're the best daughter in the world. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. Thank you. And I'm crying and telling her back, Mommy, I love you so much. Please forgive me for judging you, for hating you, for hurting you. And she's like, don't you dare to speak about my daughter like that. My daughter is the best in the world. So we're crying and just telling each other the love. My mother never said a nice word to me. Why? When she was growing up, her mother had never said a nice word to her. So she has no app. She has no application. She has no concept. She has no experience of somebody treating her with such love. So I was loving my mother, but I was a child loving the mother. But her little girl has never experienced being loved. So she doesn't know how to give something she'd never received. So this is a deeper program, and so that's why I studied psychology. And that's why the method that my husband created just saved my life. Because it's the 7 bodies we have. The conflict is always on the 6th and 7th body. It's in our Buddhigwa, the program. The old program from our parents. This is what we're running away from. The programs that are embodied in our parents. They are the victims of these programs. So only through awareness that I guide you through, and then you acknowledge it and accept your actual feelings, how they've traumatized you, and there is no judgment. They are wrong, they're awful, they're horrible people. Victims of their lineage. So when you understand how this works inside of you, and the war inside of you stops, and you become the source of love and peace for you, when that actually happens, you're right now, I can hear how you're hearing this, Farva, but it's not gonna happen mentally. When I guide you through the 7 bodies, and on each level you readjust, and you transmute all that pain, all that anger inside of your body system, when that is shifted into love, you will feel this release that you always feel after every session. You will feel this expansion. You will feel the divine goddess energy inside of you, and your mom will never be your prisoner anymore of your hate, of your resentment, of your separation. She will be free from your aggression. When you come to that level, when you realize you are the aggressor, but first we have to heal your little girl from being a victim, and then we need to heal that little girl and the mom, the victim. It's a process, but when you get it done, freedom. And then your relationship with the feminine channel shifts. You will not compete with other women, you will not be afraid of other women. It's the healing begin. My healing with being competitive with younger women stopped when my mother and I reached the level of the goddess. The love that I experienced for her at her old age was beyond. It's like there's things that shift inside of you on a different level. You have an upgrade in the feminine channel. And when you heal with the father, and some of these abusive ex relationships, when it's like it's healing the victim archetype inside of you. And no AI can help you to do that. But AI is wonderful, artificial is wonderful to help you structure your thoughts or do a research. My husband is writing right now like a book, a methodology for his system. And he's using it to ask like what other psychologists are there in any language, on this subject. So he gives it specific scientific tasks, and then it brings it to him, and then he can structurize it and go with it. It's a tool that should be helping you, and of course we'll learn through that, we expand. And so the last piece, I'm super tired already, I'm feeling like it's time to complete with the last piece about AI. So I have this a feminine coach girl in Bali that does every day. She's like semi-naked because she's a beautiful body, and so she's in swimming suits on the beaches, sexy dressing, doing this, that, and the other thing, everything to almost naked, to just show herself and talk about the femininity and all of this. And so we would meet on the beach, walk, and I was like, there is this so much misery inside of you. And she goes, yeah, I feel like I'm not even, like I'm acting all the time. I'm not even real. Like I'm not even living a real life. And so first I'm like, you're not, you're acting. You're pretending to be feminine. I said, you're not feminine. And so she looked at me like that. I said, listen, remember when you were taking my pictures, you kept pouring my hair, you were doing this. Because she has long black hair. So I said, all of your pictures, you are like this. And so you come to me, you want to do this, whereas my natural movement is always to push the hair away and just to open my ear and do like this. I do this naturally. But then I studied, because I've studied through so many teachers. I studied through this man who teaches the Miss Universe, Miss Russia, and so forth. He teaches them body language wisdom. So he's an expert at body language. And so he says, and the geishas also knew that, I've said it before, is that when a woman feels feminine and confident, she opens up her neck, because this is vulnerability. You're not afraid to show. When a geisha wanted to show to a man that she's interested, she would, show this part of her hand, because this is vulnerability. It's openness. And I was like, what I was trying to communicate to her is, buy my womb healing program, go through my wholeness retreat, raise your sexuality, raise your true feminine energy, and you naturally, body language will speak safety, security, femininity. And like you will exude it. You won't have to constantly choreograph these things to show how sexy you are, because you're not sexy and you're 40 and you're single with the perfect body that you have. Like, who cares? And like 10 years later, I'm like, believe me, I'm 50 some now, you know, your face, even if your body is perfect, you still face. So it's like men, you know, they prefer younger women for a reason. They have more sexual energy. They don't have to do surgeries. You know, they already look great, so they go after that if they have money and good looks and whatever, if they can get it. And so I'm like, what are you gonna wait till you're 50? You're still gonna be pretending, putting 50 filters and makeup and grow your things. And her hair was not natural, she had it, you know, clipped and so forth. And I'm like, even though you have this long hair and so what, you're covered up, you're like a witch behind it. I'm like, I don't find it attractive, I'm sorry. Because I had it with her. It was like a year or something, we were hiking and I was like, you know, I have these programs. You like, people dream about, they pay me a ton of money to just talk to me or ask questions or buy my programs. I've been giving you so much free information and you're not investing $500 to buy my womb healing program. Like, I don't want to continue this conversation with you, because every time I see you, my energy goes down, because you're not changing yourself, you're not growing, you're not changing, you just keep on pretending. And I'm like, not interested. There's no growth in you. But she's wonderful. I'm like, you have all these qualities, I like this about you, but like, I'm tired and sick. And this is what men do. They go out, they see the woman is empty shell. She's acting, she's pretending. Inside she's angry, miserable. She doesn't have the skills, she doesn't have the confidence. Why would they invest into you their time and money? Even if they come in a relationship with you, they're going to be abusive. They're going to use and abuse you. They're going to take whatever they can and abuse you in return. So I, a long time ago, had to face this hard truth, you know, for me, for women and so forth. But thank God I'm talking about this out loud, because I found the way out. And I'm very opinionated about the other ways that I don't think that work, because I've been there, I tried it, but I'm like, okay, if you want to wait until you're 50, that's fine. All my programs are recorded. They're waiting for you. They'll always be available there. You know, it's your life, your youth, your health that is at question. You know, so it's totally like up to you. So anyhow, I feel that I complete every story I began. Did I answer every question? Because sometimes I pick up a story and then it takes me a while to get to the end when I like remember and I pick it up. I feel like I kind of closed all the doors. So let me see what you're writing here. And I like this point. This is spicy and powerful, but which point is, I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. So I welcome you. Unmute yourselves and share with me. Any of this sits right with you? What do you think? What do you feel? Do you agree? How does it make you feel? Because I don't claim it that I'm right. I just gave myself permission to speak my truth. We'll see. Hopefully, you know, this is helpful to women. Is this helpful? Is this awakening? Is this liberating? Is this interesting? Is this touching your feelings? How does it make you feel, all of this information? Or do you have any more questions? But I'm feeling like I'm complete, actually. I'm tired. Who is that little... Oh. That sweet little girl is out there. No, clinging to mommy. You have a beautiful future in front of you, don't you?
Well, can I just add to something? That's okay.
Yes.
And of course, I'm maybe naive in saying this, but just, doing the work, because from my experience, when we do a session, it changes so much internally and externally. But then also, it's very exhausting managing doing that work with living life. So as you know, being the mother, being a wife, dealing with all those external factors, and then doing the work at the same time. Sometimes there is a point where it's like, you need a pause. But then even the pause doesn't happen, because then all these other things resurface. And then you're just dealing with them like you're like a warrior in the battlefield. Just, okay, there with the sword, So I hear what you're saying, and I feel you're right. I feel the wisdom and knowledge you have behind every word you say. But just, the exhaustion of it, how can we pace ourselves nicely then in working with everything and managing life at the same time?
Excellent question, Farva. There is no right answer for you. This is intuitively, it's like what is right for you. For me, for example, it's what sacrifices you make. It's like you have to understand you're walking through life, and there are two roads. One is leading you to self-love, self-knowledge, self-power, self-liberation, connecting to your divine powers. And it's up a mountain you're climbing. And there's another road that says the matrix, where you have to follow the programs that your parents told you, the society tells you, and so forth, and you have to excel or reach the values that they tell you to do. And this is also a mountain you have to climb. So for me, first I climbed the social mountain. They told that the woman to be free, because I was so afraid that I will be abused in the relationship or this and that. I wanted to be free, I wanted to be loved, and I wanted to, if he cheats on me or something and he leaves me, that I can support me and my children. And so it's like, what do I do to feel safe in this world? So they told me you have to have a highest education. So I go get 2 highest degrees to protect, to cover this incredible need for safety that I have in this big unsafe world that I was living. Okay, so I go get the degrees. I get the degrees, and then I understand they tell me you have to go work. So now if I have to go work as a lawyer, I have to work 60 hours weeks for somebody for a little bit amount of money for a few years to get the experience. And then if Yana ever goes anywhere to work, and all of you pretty beautiful sexy women, they're gonna corner you and want you to have sex with, or this and that. There is always abuse in the corporate world, anywhere that somebody has power over your cash, over your money. They're like, they can fuck with you, and they can fuck you, they think, in different ways. And I've been so many times in positions where I had to run away and leave opportunities and so forth, because no, nobody's gonna fuck me. I'm gonna get married, and I'm gonna be loved, worshipped, and adored. That's my formula. And it was my choice, it was my formula, it's my high standards. Everybody has their own formula, whatever it is that you want for your happiness. So, and then I graduated, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna go into the corporate world. I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. And so I was desperate, and again, crying and praying for a solution. And then I discovered about network marketing company, that I can have leverage. I was like, oh, this is a women's company. My upline is gonna be a woman. I'm gonna go work only with women. I'm going to create residual income. And it was a health and beauty and wellness Swiss company, all natural products. I was in line with that. And you become a vice president and they give you a Mercedes, and they were giving us Tiffany gifts. And so they were treating people really well. In 1 year, I become a vice president. Within the 3 years, I become a top level national vice president. Only 24 of us out of the company has millions of consultants. Only 24 people are national vice presidents, top level. I make 18% of the production of my team. And I have 200 managers under me, 4 vice presidents. I built this empire. And I can only continue to grow. The women that have been ahead of me, they were making 2 million a month after they've been 10 years in the company. I was only for 3 years, and my business was already at 5 million gross. So, but for me, that was enough. I stopped right there. I was like, this is more money than I can handle at the moment. And I'm not chasing. I don't need the castles. I don't need this, that, the other thing. I don't have 5 kids to buy houses for everyone. I just want to be happy. So I started spending my money traveling and learning and this and that and the other thing is the choices we make. And so then I realized it's no amount of money, Mercedeses, diamonds, products, expensive this, expensive. None of that is making me actually happy. I am still the slave with my mom. I'm a victim of my mom. She still emotionally, she makes me hysterical all the time, and soon my nerves cannot handle it anymore. I cannot run away from her from anywhere because I love her. She's my everything. She's my support system. And it's a love-hate relationship, and I cannot really build a relationship where I actually feel like I'm happy and satisfied. So I was like, what's the purpose of life? So I dedicated myself to deep spiritual studies to learn and to serve and to connect to my higher self. And I was like, I'll find happiness over there. And I would feel this ecstatic orgasms of being one with God and serving God. It was amazing. But then I come home at night and I felt lonely in front of the big TV. And my life felt meaningless. I was like, what? I was born to sell a lipstick for a living? I was like, okay, I'm educating women about healthy skin and making money and so forth. But at a certain point, I was like, I'm not living my life. If I die and go to heaven, I look back, I was like, was I really happy? No. Although I had it all, the love, the worship, the desires, the players, the great sex, the great clothes, the great everything, but I really felt my life was worthless and meaningless. There's some parts of me were not satisfied. So this is when I decided, okay, this is the mountain I climbed, goodbye now. And I started discovering a different mountain. Self-love, feminine happiness, true magic, art of enchantment, where I would enchant myself, where I would be happy. And the journey began, and I started finding teachers, books, and this and that, climbing, looking for somebody to show me the way. And I couldn't find it because I've always had higher standards than anybody I met. And so at a certain point when I married Bulat, I was like, I'm so disappointed I cannot find one teacher that can show me the way. Whoever I meet, I feel like I have to expand them and I have to heal them and I have to teach them and so forth. He goes, yes, because you are built to be the teacher. And then I study my gene codes, I study human design, I study my astrology, and I see who am I and why I came here. And then I just, dedicate myself to this. So for me, I was in Thailand the last 6 months. Forward, I was telling you, I spent 12 hours finishing up the gene codes and upgrading myself from shadows to gifts, because I wanted to reach this level where I am expressing myself, I'm living myself at my genius frequency, not at my shadow frequency. So for me, that became an obsession, a number one thing. So I did everything, I dedicated myself to that. So I made sacrifices. I wasn't making enough money for this, I wasn't making enough money for that, because all my time was going into that. I didn't have time for girlfriends. I didn't have sex for about 6 months with my husband. I sacrificed everything. That was my choice. Because deep inside, I felt that if I reach this point, then I will be of better service to women. I will make more money with less stress. And then I will be able to make love to my husband from a different space, and love and support him from a different space. So I made the choice. So for 6 months, almost 12 hours a day, I worked. So I put on weight. I don't have a savings account. It was tough for my husband. He started drinking every night, a bottle or two of beer. He would buy this, cans of beers, and he started drinking. I was like, you're going to become an alcoholic. You're having a beer every night. He goes, but you're not available for me. And I sat there and I had to be honest. I was like, if I get back to my feminine and give it to you, then I'm not going to reach this level where I need to be. And I'm not satisfied where I'm at with myself anymore. I am not happy here. So remember this thing. I acknowledged I have a problem. I accepted that I want to change this. And then application. So for me, I put all of my money where my mouth is. But that's how I move. This is how I roll. When I was studying to become a feminine coach, I've done everything and invested everything to get there. And then I became a magical woman for myself. My life changed. And I enjoyed it until I got married, and I realized, but I haven't healed my victim. And if I haven't healed my victim with my mom and my father, I can never be fully happy in a relationship, because a man is gonna mirror back at me my little traumatized girl issues. So I was like, no, but I want to be happy. This is the right man for me, and I want to be happy in this relationship. I already have no illusion. There is no better man for me. So for me, I just figured out that happiness is inside of me. And I prioritized it for me. How you do it is your priorities. Is you sit and you say, what do you sacrifice? Because if you don't let go of something, you cannot gain something else. The problem with modern women, if you want to keep what you have, the luxury lifestyle, the apartment, the money, the going out, the eating, the dressing, the makeup, and all of this stuff. I only now bought some makeup. I wasn't using any makeup, so I saved money on makeup, and I remember how much makeup used to cost me when I was living in America. It's like crazy money. They make billions of dollars on mascaras and lipstick and so forth. So I put on no makeup. I spent no money on shoes. I was just flip-flops. It's to gain something. So when I went to law school, we had to pay $30,000 for one semester. And then they told us, it was 100 people in class, and they told us only 40 of you will pass, 60 has to be gone, because they grade on a curve. So you become in fierce competition with each other. So it's not that you pass the exam, or you can pass, but if my neighbor got 1 point more than I did, then I'm out. So the tension that creates crazy. So over $100,000 for my law school degree. What did I get out of that? Sharp mind, okay. But my hormones were shot, like щитовидная железа, how to say it in English, adrenals. My adrenals were at zero when I graduated. I graduated with honors, and I couldn't move my body. Like literally, it was painful to walk. So we went to a resort, like thank God I was married to a really wealthy man. So we went to a resort, it's called Two Bunch Palm in Palm Springs. And I met there celebrities from LA, like Douglas, the father and the son, the Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones' husband, and his father. At the time they were resting there. It was like a place not advertised, super expensive place, where it's like guarded and its natural lakes are made and there are rabbits running around and so forth. So I would just sit there by the lake. I couldn't even order food. I couldn't move. So I went to the doctor to understand what it is. Like I had zero energy because my adrenals were shot, and they had no medicine for that and no explanation how to get them back. The level of stress that I went through these 3 years to prove to myself that I'm smart, to find safety, that if I have a low degree then I'll never be hungry, nobody will fuck me up, I can defend myself. I got that. And then at 30 I was like a vegetable. So thank God we had this money, and I stayed at that resort for 2 months. And we had the money. Because I told them I'm not going anywhere. I'm just resting. So they were delivering the food to me and so forth. So slowly, about 2 months later, I started walking and moving. I had the energy to move. Total, at 30, complete adrenal exhaustion. That was the price I paid for my law school degree, and over $100,000 in education. And so, but if I right now tell a girl that, listen, come in for a 1-year mentorship for me. Like I actually had this conversation with a girl from Russia, and she has 10 properties. She's 40, she wants to get married, she wants to have kids. We started the conversation when she was 38. And I said, sell one of your properties. Pay me $100,000, and for 1 year stop working. Like you eat from what you are like renting or whatever, and then in 1 year you will marry a millionaire, you will have your child and so forth. She goes, give me 100% guarantee. I'm like, why? Like, are you crazy? Like, who can ever give you 100% guarantee? What am I, Jesus Christ? I can guarantee you that you are going to change, you're going to heal, you're going to learn, you're going to raise your sexuality. I will fly you to my teacher. We will measure your sexuality when you are done. When you reach a level 4 or 5 in your water, you will marry a millionaire. Until then, you won't. But even without any measurements, I will be able to tell you who you are and where you're at. But this is the guarantee. Like, we'll go over, test you out, so you will see for yourself. You've graduated, you're at that level. And I will teach you how to build a relationship with the wealthy man where you're not acting as a prostitute, as an escort. But with class, with understanding, and then you can build a soulful relationship with this man. I'm like, I can teach you everything, but then it's how you live your life. And what happens is, nobody gives you any. She goes, okay, have you done this to anybody else? I'm like, no, you're the first one. She goes, no, then I'm not going to take the risk. I'm like, okay. For me, nobody gave me any guarantees. I had a $500,000 home. If I didn't sell it at that time, it would be over $1 million right now. It's in Del Mar, California, in San Diego, in Del Mar area. My girlfriend, who we bought the homes, I paid $500,000. She paid $750,000. Her husband did $750,000. Her home is now $1.5 million. We're in like in the neighborhood. Mine was smaller because I needed just for myself and they needed for a family. So it could have been like $1 million. I don't have it. That is my sacrifice. But I have the freedom to live anywhere I want in the world, and I met my husband. So, you know, people invest, what do you invest in is exactly what you're gonna get. So is when I stopped investing in the material world and I started investing in myself. So I don't at the moment have some material things to show for you, but I have the happiest life ever. So if we die today or tomorrow, the best life ever. I lived in the most beautiful places, I've eaten the best food, I've been loved, I learned how to love. You know, it's amazing. And I created programs for women. Even if they don't find it, it's their problem, not mine. I created and I offered. What you do with that, it's up to you. And so that is your choice. When Farba I was practicing sexual goddess, every single day I would go for a hike and I would squeeze my muscles. And I was listening and listening and practicing and practicing and practicing every single day for at least 2 hours. You know, and in 1 year I was shining. So I don't know, if Mila is 20 years old and if she does the same practices, maybe in 3 months she will get there. I don't know. So I'm not offering anymore at 100,000. This is for people that, you know, want the private retreats, private whole year for full focus on them and so forth. Now I'm thinking about 30,000 where we do like at least 1 or 2 live retreats, and we do online 2-3 times a month we're meeting, and for a year I work with someone. It's a huge shifts that are gonna happen. I don't know who is willing to sell something to invest. But if you go to university and they tell you it's 50,000 or 100,000, my girlfriend right now, she has a baby. She's already thinking to save for her college. And when I tell her, buy a sexual goddess right now for yourself so that you can become an example for your daughter, so that you have the energy and your husband doesn't leave you and he adores you, and you have this. It's like she doesn't have the time or perhaps the money. So it's the priorities. It's what you say yes to and what you say no to. This is the choices we make. What makes you happy? You know? Was this a good answer? It was pretty full and complete. Like, nothing is ever going to be right or wrong. It's constantly in different points in your life you're going to be making priorities. So for me now, all I know is this. It's like, if you don't make yourself a priority, you're going to live in this world as a victim. And as a victim, they're going to suck it out of you. So you're going to lose your health, your wealth. Anyhow, they're going to take it away from you. Because we didn't come here to win in the material world. I have come to harmonize our body avatar. I've come to learn, honor, fall in love, learn how to create energy, how to love and to give. And we came here to transmute the darkness of the past generation so we can forward more love into the future generation. This is why our soul has come here to do. So is it hard? Yes. But is it easy to live in the world of constant stress, constant worry, constant fight with the beloveds, with your own family? How much energy you have to do to keep the separation? How much pain it is in the no contact when you watch these people, they're dead, they're sitting there. Yeah, I had no contact with my family for 5 years, too toxic. Hello, and where you're at right now, zombie? You know, so for me personally, I don't like the results. I think that evolutionary path is a dead end. I would rather them to invest money and come and study and learn and heal themselves. So by the way, at end of January, we're starting part 2 for the wholeness retreat. My husband and I are gonna record for you an amazing video sharing with you what's the next step we are preparing for to share with the world, because we learn, we heal, and then we create a program that we can move this forward. And so the life container is only usually once, and so it's coming for you. The options. So you can do private, you can do groups, but give yourself time and space. Flower, you have everything. You have the wholeness retreat, you have the queen retreat, and you have the sexual goddess retreat. You have it all. And you've had like quite a few privates with me, so you know everything. So you're free to live your queen life and make the choices. My thing is, like, when you get a charge with something, don't listen to artificial or wrong intelligence. Because if you have a charge, if you're looking for help, maybe you should find help from a professional like Yana Good. Because if you're searching for it, you have a charge. If you don't discharge it a proper way, you're going to discharge it a wrong way that is going to be attacking you. That's the difference. It's like some issues they can wait, but some issues they're charged up, and so they're creating a disease. It's like autoimmune diseases. Like we attack our own selves by being unkind and unloving. All right. I love you. I bless you all. I set you free. Thank you so much. And what? Pretty, write something. Yeah. I like this point. That is spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, Pretty,
okay,
you want to speak?
I want to
Yes.
say something.
Yes.
I mean, in comment section, somebody wrote, the good girl is connected to karma and religion. This is some person wrote. So I just want to know your opinion about it if you have time.
I'm tired. It's okay. It is 11:30 right now in Vietnam.
That's fine.
So it's almost 12. So of course I have my opinion on that, but that is it's all intertwined. You know, I'm inviting her to go through a wholeness retreat, and to, if it doesn't answer her personal questions, if it doesn't release the charge inside, take a private, and then we'll find out what it is for her. Because for every one of us, it's a different formula. We all are in the victim archetype, but it's a different medicine for each one.
But I really like the point that you shared, where you were saying that, something like you were answering Farah's question that she was asking about the family and all the mother-related things, and you were giving your answer, and you were saying otherwise you're going to be victim if you are always holding this charge, either resentment, anything. So you have to transmute. So I just realized that, yes, mostly people are victim.
Do you remember, do you want to share, Pretty? If you don't, I'll cut it out. You know, from when we were doing the healing with your mom, in just one session, we went from, you know, how you were like this, your body was like this is a defense mechanism. And then at the end, when you got it, it's like your body released, opened up, and you were able to get from the lowest frequency emotions, from hate and resentment, to the total love. You saw your mother as the goddess divine. I was able to, because I climbed that mountain, I was able to cut down the journey for you. And you were able to do it. It was the first time.
Because
I'm saying that it was really powerful, and I really appreciate the way you did. And whoever watching this, and seriously, Yana is so good in what she does, especially in feminine embodiment work. Nobody compares to her, because I personally known all the best women worldwide, all the feminine coaches and all of, and I have personally taken. So I know she is the best. So the way you did it is really incredible. So I really appreciate and I'm really grateful for whatever you have done. And I think any woman who is taking this thing from you, she's lucky. I mean, if she's able to take, because the way you teach it is not simple for everybody to understand. That's also, I would say previously also I get result, because the practices which I learned from you, the whatever you taught me around man relationship, I actually started attracting very high quality, successful men. Okay, yes. Where I don't have to go behind it. They were coming for me, even want to be in relationship with me, want to marry me, proposing me. These kind of things started happening. But then I realized something is missing.
Yes.
Then your word again started clicking about, because yes, there was something going on in the dynamic. And I got it.
Yeah.
And I got it. It is because of this mother and father thing.
Yes, thank you for sharing, my love. This is the thing. That's why Bulat tells me, my husband, he's like, Yana, you climbed the mountain. You climbed it on your own, clawing out every step. And he goes, you are at the mountain right now. So offer your wisdom. There are millions of women that need what you have. Don't be afraid. Don't judge by the past clients. Offer, you are different frequency right now. You're a different point of assembly. Offer what you've got. There are millions of people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on education, so that when they graduate, they can become a slave in a corporate world.
Yes,
and disconnected, and disconnected from their parents, disconnected from their beloved, empty and lonely and scared, on medicine, on medication. This is the world we're living in right now, right? Highly educated people making a ton of money. Everybody's on some kind of medication. People cannot sleep. They cannot build a relationship. They're unsafe. They don't know how to build a relation with their children. They don't know how to build a relation with their parents. We are the modern world. We're completely fucked up. Yeah, so I just went through all of this. I've learned, I figured it out, and then we did it together with my husband. And then we made personal sacrifices before to be ready for each other. And then we made sacrifices as a couple as well. A lot of sacrifices. But we were choosing the road that brings us into the heart, into the love, into the union. That's it. To be with me, Bulat had to sacrifice having children. When we met, that was his dream, to get married and have a son, so he could pass to him his things. He was crying because I had this conversation at the very beginning. I was like, I'm not going to give you children. I'm going to give you this. I don't have the time right now to go into the relationship. This is for the Queen's Club conversations. But, I've been on menopause for many years. I cannot give you children, number one. And number two, to be honest with you, even if I was 35, I don't want to have children. And that's a different conversation. I have other reasons. Because I feel inside of me an archetype of the Divine Mother that I want to help the children of the children. I want to have an impact not on one child, not on one son, but of hundreds of women that are going to be mothers for hundreds of children, that hundreds of men are going to be, and then I want them to be thousands, and then I want them to be millions. I don't know if I can do this, but this is where I'm going, and I need a partner that can go there with me. So I was like, he was 38. I said, I don't know, do you see yourself at a point where you can sacrifice your personal choices to be in service to the collective? So he had a couple of days to cry and to disconnect from this program and think about me, himself, and he made a commitment. So the first 3 years in our marriage was the toughest times for him, because he had to work so hard to raise up and learn so much. We had a 10 years difference where I wasn't just, sitting under the sun and drinking a margarita. We met a friend of ours, a friend of his basically, and he's a healer and a coach, this man. And when I had an injury with my elbow, and he was helping me heal that, and he said, Yana, even if you stop your development right now, you are 1,000 years ahead of all the coaches right now in Bali, on planet Earth. Do you understand that? They cannot even catch up with you in 1,000 years. I was like, what? I'm sure he's exaggerating. I was like, really? Because I was studying my gene keys and I was working on my shadows, and I felt so hopeless. I was like, I feel like in a tunnel that is, I don't even see the light out there. Like, this is never gonna end. It ended. It was 4 years of intense work with the gene keys, where I freed myself from my shadows, learned it, figured out. Bulat created a method, he helped me heal it. But we committed ourselves to that. So now I feel happy. Like I sleep happy. Every time I have a session with anyone, now I feel uplifted. I used to get tired when I first started. Now after every session, I feel uplifted. I feel so much love, so much gratitude. It's like, Preeti, thank you so much for coming, for trusting to the level that you can. Thank you so much, because healing with you helped me to see how far I have come. This week I was like editing your videos, and I was like, oh my God, how far I have come. Because you helped me to reconnect back. Because of you, I had to go down back and lift it back up, lift myself, like get you as a lift inside of me, as an elevator, and take you inside of me up with me. And I was like, I'll never be able to do a session like this again. And I said with my husband, I said, like, I cannot give this level of energy anymore. This is like too much out of me. I don't want to go back into the past and reconnect to that anymore. So how do I help people? And we talked to him, and we found a different way. And I was like, oh, this is my like raritet. The old cars, the old Mercedeses that are like so expensive because like these models don't exist anymore. And so I'm changing, I'm shifting, I'm learning. And so now I feel this incredible gratitude for every client and everyone I love in a different way. And with everyone, it's a mother-daughter relationship. Because you're either reflecting a part of me as a daughter. I'm like, oh, I used to be like that with my mom, I see. And I get to love it through you. I get to pour that love that I didn't give to my mom. Or I get to play my mom with you, and you're like being me, and I'm like, yeah, I used to be like that too. Oh my God. And I'm like, have to find a way to get to you, because my mother didn't have the words, didn't have the knowledge. She could only tell me, this is not gonna work. You need to work on yourself. You're not good enough in that. And this is the blessing. Because of her, I perfected myself. And I have an extraordinary life. And I feel as an extraordinary woman. Isn't that wonderful? Wasn't it worth it? So what is it all my life? I just drink, eat, have sex, go to the store, buy things, and then I'm 50 and then I'm 60, and what's the meaning? Time is gonna fly. So all this time I've been working on myself. My life has been amazing. Every time I shift my point of assembly, like my total energetic viewpoint and point, my life changes. So I've lived 1,000 lives in one life. I'm like, finally, I'm not afraid of death. Because I'm living life, not playing a role, not acting out, not running away, not separating myself. And now I'm also releasing the need from anyone, from your approval, because I've healed the fear of being rejected. Like, reject me, fine, you have every right, enjoy. Do it with pleasure. You rejected Yana, good for you. I love you, I bless you, I set you free, you can't hurt my feelings. I'm like, wow, like my whole life I was trying, like, just don't reject me. I will come and say, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, I didn't mean to. No, I meant every word I said. I said it, I mean it. And you're responsible for your feelings. It was not my intention to hurt you. It never was. I never hurt any human. I've always been a good person. But since I've created a wholeness retreat, I have been working and dissolving the victim archetype of me that is also tied to the good girl and the Cinderella. So for me, the good girl is the Cinderella, and I'm the victim of those archetypes. So I've been healing myself through that, so that I can be a free queen that doesn't give a fuck about who thinks what. And I can contribute to this world out of my truth. And if it can help somebody good, take it. This was a very expensive piece of knowledge I got. A lot of sacrifice to give you this pearl. By the way, I want to show you this pearl is this is a huge, I don't even know how many carats this is, but it's a very unique, this huge pearl in a golden flower, and there are diamonds around it. It's like a really unique ring. And so here, and you can see it. It's like really special. I brought it from America. Not most jewelries. I had to sell my gold, I had to sell my diamonds when I was studying and I wasn't getting enough money. It's like I was making sacrifices. People want to keep what they have and get something new. You have to make space sometimes, unless you're super wealthy and you can, that reorganize your life, where you can have people, delegate. You take care of the house, you take care of children, so you have extra time and you can keep the old lifestyle and you can learn other things and then you can readjust. But most people can, but most people have to make sacrifices. Some people save for 6 months to get a session. It depends. But anyhow, I want to leave you with the 3 A's. Acknowledge whatever the problem is or whatever you want, whatever your desire is. Accept at 100%, like honor your choice and apply. Find the tools, find the ways, find the teachers, do whatever it takes. That's the step to manifest, to evolve, to go to the next level. So anything from today would you like to acknowledge? So I acknowledge that I really need you at the temple of love. That if it's just one person or 2 people, it's not the same. That when there is 5, 6, 10 people, it's a lot more powerful energy that I feel. The field is richer. So I thank you for coming. I accept the fact that each one of you is so powerful, so unique. And each one of you is contributing to my life. consciously, subconsciously, some ways. If I'm contributing to your life, you are contributing to my life. It's always a win-win. So thank you. An application is, now that I completed the climbing to the mountain and working on myself, I'm super excited to be offering incredible work for you. There's another video that is coming that I will share with you what we are planning with my husband to do. So something yummy and exciting is coming for you. So I love you, I bless you, I set you free, and I thank you for, when you watch on YouTube these videos, I thank you for your comments. It's important. It's valuable for me, and it's important. And I thank you for your life and your time and your beauty and your honesty and your trust and your kindness, and all of you and all parts of you.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you. It's so good. Grateful for everything. Thank you for your kindness, your vulnerability, your honesty, your beauty of your heart, that you're sharing your truth with such vulnerability, such honesty. It's so powerful. It takes a lot of courage. Otherwise, and the social media nowadays, women are so fake. Everybody's putting mask, but you are sitting here without mask and sharing your actual truth. So this is so powerful. It shows your strength, how much powerful woman you are. So we celebrate you.
And look, already you are the powerful giver, and I gratefully, humbly receive, because it's truly powerful what you said. And to be able to see that means you have it inside of you. I'm proud of you. I love you, and I will see you soon. Yesterday you just bought another 3 sessions. So I am super excited to continue this wonderful work with you. Farwa, did you feel complete? Did you really get the answers and the feelings?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Bye, honey. Mila, how are you feeling?
Yes, I'm feeling great, and the session was very, very complete. Like, I feel complete. Like, I don't know how to explain. You just touched all the points, everything, and it's just so complete.
All right. All the best to all of you, and until next time.
Thank you.
So